Hey sunshine, it's me, Tamiko Okegbe. I am a Christian wife, mother, life coach, and an undergrad studying to be a therapist. And I have been talking about finding your God given gift and how to harness those. And then today I just want to talk about fulfilling your destiny. I know sometimes we feel like imposters in our own skin, but God has anointed you for the job. So I know sometimes there's things that we want to do or things that like, oh, I can see myself doing this, but then you start to second guess yourself and don't think that you're qualified. But I'm here to tell you that God has, if He's put that on your heart, He has already qualified you for that. He's already approved you. He's set you in at the table in front of your enemies. He's already made you a place, so you already have a seat at the table. As a child of God, you're the head and not the tail. You're first and not last. You're above and not below. And if you don't believe me, just read Deuteronomy 28:13. It says it says the same thing, that you are the head and not the tail. This signifies a promise of blessings and leadership, prosperity, and abundance. This is your portion. Your portion is not lack. Your portion is not doubt. Your portion is not fear. Those are the lies of the enemy. But obedience is the key. So, in order to receive these blessings, we have to be obedient to God's calling, to His commandments, to what He's telling us to do. So, if you feel like you're born to do something and it's really nagging at you, and you can hear God clearly telling you this is what you need to do, and you just don't know where to start, there is no right time to start. You just start. You just do it. And it can be scary. It can be scary stepping into the unknown. We're human, and fear is a natural human feeling. And it's not something to be ashamed of, but it is something to be aware of and to overcome. I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes here. So I have a couple of examples from the Bible. I'm going to be reading back and forth. But Moses is a great example. And he was a prophet who received the Ten Commandments from Yahweh. And he had a journey that was filled with doubt and fear. He was scared. He didn't know. He was stepping into the unknown. He didn't know what he was doing, he just knew that God said, go. So when we doubt, when God tells us to go and we procrastinate, that's disobedience. If God tells us to go, we go. Even if we don't know where we're going or what we're going for, you just go. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's something that as Christians, we should be practicing. So, but Moses eventually trusted God. He trusted His guidance, and he led the Israelites out of Egypt. And just imagine if Moses wouldn't have been obedient to God's word. Those Israelites still would have been enslaved in Egypt. He also had a divine helper, which was Aaron, his brother, Moses' brother, Aaron. So along your journey, you'll know you're on the right path when God starts sending divine helpers. And it might not even be multiple people. It may just be one person, but He will send you a divine helper in your life to walk with you along your journey. And throughout all of this, Moses faced numerous trials and hardships, plagues, famine, rebellion from the same people that he was walking out of bondage. But through faith and obedience, he led the Israelites to the promised land. And the promised land was filled with freedom and abundance. And so Moses had a great destiny. Like, this was his destiny and his divine purpose. And he fulfilled that. And I don't know if you know this, but he was not young when he did this. He was old. I don't know the exact age. I would have to go back and check, but he was not young. And but you could read the story of Moses in Exodus. I prefer the King James version, but it's an amazing story. And he was, as he was leading the Israelites out of Egypt, Pharaoh was chasing him the whole time Moses is also the same one who split the Red Sea so that he can, through God's power, he used his staff and parted the Red Sea so that the Israelites can pass through. And as Pharaoh and his men were following them, God closed the sea on them and killed numerous Egyptians. So just keep that in mind. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. Nobody ever said that it was going to be just, sunshine and butterflies. But when you are walking in your divine purpose, God is going to see you through. He's going to see you through. He paves the way for us. Another person in the Bible of significance is Noah. Noah is considered a righteous man who was favored by God, and he built an ark which initially preserved life during the big flood. So he displayed great faith and obedience, and while everybody else is mocking Noah as he's building this ark with his family, telling people, you need to build an ark, they're mocking him and making fun of him, not realizing what's coming. God is about to flood the earth, and these people are laughing at the only person who is being obedient to God. So as Noah built this ark, when he finally finished, the flood came, and he led, Noah and his family and the animals that he put on the ark. I think it was 2 of each to preserve life, And the flood was 40 days and 40 nights. Could you imagine being on an ark for 40 days and 40 nights and just hearing people crying out for help? And these are all the same people that just didn't listen. And just you, your family, and these animals on a big ark during this flood. No sign of land anywhere. Noah didn't know what was going on. He didn't know where they were going, where they were going to end up. He just knew that this is what God told him to do, and he did it. And by following God's word and being obedient, like I said, Noah was able to preserve life on earth. And God made a covenant with Noah and all of his descendants, promising to never flood the earth again, to never do that again. And that covenant is symbolized by the rainbow, which is a sign of God's promise. So, and this story is in Genesis. You can read the story of Noah in Genesis, which is in the beginning of the Bible. So sometimes God asks us to do things that don't make sense. Like, why are you asking me to do this? But questioning God is also kind of, disobedience. But sometimes, like I said, things that don't make sense, things that are scary, things that we don't seem qualified for, things that are just unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar ground, and you're just like, this doesn't make sense. But he picked you. God hand-selected you for the job because he already qualified you. He's gone before you and cleared the path. And this is in Isaiah 45:2 in the King James. It says, I will go before thee and make the crooked path straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. In Isaiah 45:3, and I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. So he's letting you know that there is nothing and nobody on this entire planet, anywhere in the entire universe, because he is our creator, that can stop what's for you, for you. If God says this is for you, this is for you. And there's nothing and nobody that can stop that from happening. God tells you, I'll read it again. He said that he will cut down, he will go before thee and make the crooked path straight. So when it seems like you don't know where you're going or what you're doing, God will clear the path for you. And he will break the pieces of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. That means that there's nothing strong enough to hold you back from fulfilling your destiny, to reaching your destination, if that's what God has for you. And by being obedient and following this path, God is going to bless you with treasures and riches and and all these things, so that you can know that this was God and God alone, that you wouldn't have made it without God. And so that's what we do these things for. That's why we have these gifts, and why we use our gifts, and why we use them to fulfill our destiny, to glorify God. So I'm just here to tell you that you have something in you that you know that you're supposed to be doing, that God is telling you that you should be doing. And this is your sign. I hope that you take this as a sign to start now. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait. Even if you don't have a plan, if you don't know where to start, when to start, how to start, just start. It doesn't matter how. Just do it. Do it. Start now, and you will see, like, months from now, maybe it'll be a year from now. Just like I said, Noah, he was on the ark for 40 days. Who knows the time? But you will see that God will clear the path, and he will see you through, and you will glorify his name because of what he has brought you through, the trials and tribulations that you have overcome, the people that have spoke about you and mocked you, and you just kept going and pushing forward and being, through the long suffering, and you will be triumphant. You'll be victorious. That's our portion as Christians. So please start now, because you might be somebody else's destiny. Moses, he was somebody else's destiny. Those Israelites didn't know he was coming, but he walked them out of slavery. Noah, he is somebody else's destiny. We wouldn't be here, So just start now, because somebody else is waiting on you. So start now. I just want to tell you that. So God bless you. I love you all. And I pray that you find your purpose. And if you want help doing that, please, please, please reach out to me. I would love to have a conversation with you and help you with this. I'm considering doing a Bible study. Again, I'm in Africa, so the time is different, no matter where I'm at. But if you're just needing some guidance and some help, and just a divine helper, I would love to be that for you. So again, God bless you. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.